del Castillo.
Wow, Ivan, thank you so much. That was a beautiful presentation. I have no words to thank all of you, Devon, Ivan, Catherine, and all of you guys there, all of the young people there. We're all striving, we're all struggling in these times. We all sometimes feel alone. We all feel sometimes like, pumped up and with a lot of things inside and wanting to go out there and do our thing. So it's been really hard times for everybody. And I appreciate you so much because being here with you today changes for me a lot of things, because changes, first of all, my monotony of being here by myself in my home in Los Angeles, and also because young people and beautiful people like all of you are, not that you're not young, Ivan and Catherine, but you all bring me so much joy and you know what, faith, esperanza, because sometimes we older people, we lose that. And we forget that there's so much out there to do. And even me, that they think that I am the super tough lady. Well, yes, I am sometimes, but I also am very vulnerable. And because I think there's not one's in the other one, right? So you have to have both. And vulnerability makes me strong. So thank you. I just wanted to thank you. It's an honor to be here with you.
So, Kate, will you tell us about yourself briefly, and then, or we can open it up to questions. But your life has been this magnificent trajectory, a mixture of high discipline and the development of an art and risk-taking. You're a businesswoman, you're an actor, an activist. Tell us about what life has been like for you briefly during the pandemic, and then what was life for you when you were around the age of 12, 13, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Well, even now in the pandemic, I've been here in the United States, in Los Angeles for almost 20 years. I came here in 2001. I was running from the press in my country because I was getting a divorce. It was very embarrassing because it was already hurtful, it was painful for me, but it was public records. And the reason of the divorce was because it was a violent domestic violence abuse. So it was very embarrassing because I already had a big name and everything. So everybody saw me like this strong and famous woman, like nothing can happen to you. I don't know why, but that's the way sometimes they see it. And the press was all over us. And so I decided to come here. I always wanted to come here because I was a little bored to be doing telenovelas. Not that I don't like them. I learned a lot, but I started leading very soon, to be honest. And I didn't have the chance to do or to play different roles. So I was always the good one, the virginal, all this. So I was a little bit bored, and I was like, okay, I want to go to the United States so nobody knows who I am, and they can give me the opportunities that I want. And it's always sad when you have to get out of your country, start from scratch, definitely, because you didn't find the opportunities in your own country, which, by the way, I totally love my country. And that's what makes it a little bit more sad, because I wish I had those opportunities there. But the good thing about being here is that they opened the doors for me in every single way. And I started working in very small movies and little parts here and there. But it was hard because I was by myself. I was divorced. I started to think about myself and about how and who was I. I always lived with my parents because I'm a Mexican. So I lived with my parents, and then I married, and then I came here. And it was the first time that I found myself alone, So it was like, oh my God, what do I do with so much freedom? And it was scary for me because I always had someone to look out for me and to whatever. But also it was enlightening to know who really I was, and that changed everything for me. I understood that I didn't like to go, I don't know, I don't know, to a concert. I didn't like to this and that. And I always did things I didn't want to, I don't know, have for breakfast eggs. And I always did whatever my parents or my husbands wanted. So I started to figure out who I was, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But it's been a beautiful journey, and it's been hard. It's been hard to be a woman. It's been hard to be a Latina in this country as an actress, because stereotypes are really, really hard, and they objectify you and they sexualize you, and it's hard for one, because first I want to work, I need to work, I need to pay this house, right? And on the other hand, it's my craft, and it's all I know how to do. So I really want to work. So when you're here and you start to get the jobs here and there, you want to do everything, and it was hard for me to refrain from doing certain roles because I needed the money. And but life is good. I cannot complain, and I've never stopped working in Spanish, because that's my thing, because I love it, and for me that's the real crossover. La Reina del Sur is exactly what it did, because we were #1 regardless of language here in the United States. We were beating in prime time, CBS, NBC, all of those big American networks. So for me, it was like, wow, that's a great, crossover, because it's still in my language and talking about my country. Same thing happened with the way she spoke. It was in English. It was in New York off Broadway, but it was talking about my country. So for me, those things have made me so happy, and and leaving my country, leaving my parents and everything, it's been worth it. It's been worth it, because I'm still very close to them. And every time that I can, I go to Mexico now that I can. Before, I couldn't go back to Mexico, but now I do. And you know what was one of the perks of living here and leaving is that tequila and mariachi tastes better. For some reason, it just gets into my heart, and it feels better. In Mexico, yeah, I liked it, but when I'm here, oh my God, it just gets to me, and I cry, and yes.
So you speak so beautifully and poetically. I'm in a lot of our families and understand, and it resonates with you being between two worlds and cultures. With your permission, I'm going to open it up, our homes up to you and our students' questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Get on.
Okay, we're going to go to Alexa for our first question.
Okay.
Hey, good morning.
Hi.
My name is Alexa. I'm from Mexico.
Oh, really? What part of Mexico?
Puebla.
Muy bien, Puebla. Okay.
Sí. And I know how hard it is to learn a new language. I watched your TV show called La Reina del Sur, and I was so inspired by the way you spoke in different languages. So my question for you is, how was your experience filming this telenovela, speaking more than one language at the same time?
Well, it's part of the training. I do not speak Italian. I had to learn that for the show. So most of the time we actors do those kind of things, and we dare to do things, and we just say yes because we want the part. There was something that was on my side, that they cannot be another Reina del Sur because I am Teresa Mendoza. So they have to say yes, right? But I have to learn, and I have to study a lot. Not the whole language because I didn't have the time, but to study and to learn it phonetically. All those things that I spoke in Italian. I just spoke Italian, English, and Spanish. That was it. That was not much, but I did what I could. There's a lot of poblanos in New York, right?
A lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Alexa. Don't forget your Spanish.
She speaks beautiful Spanish and English. She's phenomenal.
Awesome.
We'll go to the next question.
Alexa.
Thank you.
All right, our next question is going to be from Catherine. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
Winning so many awards because of your acting is a huge accomplishment. A lot of people used to believe that being Hispanic doesn't get you as many opportunities in life. My question for you is, what was your opinion on this belief? And do you think that prejudice have changed over time?
That's a great question. I think, well, when I just got here, it was really hard for me, and I believed that in a way that it was going to be very hard for me to get there and this and that. But now, for me, everything has changed, and I think it's been really, really slow. But we are getting there. We're changing everything. At least in the industry that I am in, I read more scripts where there are more Latinos and Latinas in the streets, in the scripts, and not only as the maid or as the prostitute, or we still do those things. We still play those parts, yes, but it's getting much better, and we are helping a lot. As a producer, I'm trying to help to bring more Latinos, but not necessarily in Latinos shows. I don't like those labels. I'm a human being. I don't, and right now it's even cool, even better for me, because I have the opportunity to be a Latina. So I have the best of both worlds. So now for me, something that I thought that might be on my way of my acting, now it's even better. Even my accent, I will never have an American accent, a perfect American accent. I can get it better than you hear right now, but this is who I am, and I embrace it, and I love it. And now for me, it's my tool as a Latina, is my accent, the way I look, everything. So no, it's getting better.
All right, thank you, Kate. We're gonna go to Leslie next.
Hi, good morning.
Hi.
You have been in a lot of English and Spanish movies and shows and have portrayed different types of characters with different personalities. My question for you is, do you think English language films may have a slightly different mood or plot as Spanish language films, even if they're the same genre? What do you think are the major differences between films made in both languages?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's exactly what I'm trying to do now with my production company. It's like keeping away from labels. Sometimes it's because if you have a great story, it will be appealing for anybody, right? And I wish, and I think it's getting better as well, Americans are reading more subtitles. I grew up reading subtitles because all the movies came from America, right? So I went to the movies and watched everything subtitled. So for me, it's fine, it's normal to watch something subtitled. But in a way, when I see shows or movies or whatever in my language, I don't know, probably because that's my lengua materna, I feel closer. I feel, and it doesn't have to be this, that I hate, I'm sorry, but I hate that always they put us like the drug addicts or the drug lords or the maids or prostitutes, as I said already, or with these dark stories. We have so much more than that, and that's what I'm pushing for as a producer. We have so much more to say and so much more stories and beautiful and enlightening stories full of light. And I think we need more of those. But I always feel closer to Spanish. I think Spanish is a very beautiful, beautiful language.
We agree for sure. Okay, Melissa Castro is going to ask our next question.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
In your interview of The Way She Spoke, you and Isaac Gomez talked about women disappearing and violence against women. So my question for you is, how do you think we could change the injustice that women face?
Oh my God, I wish I had the answer. All I can say is that it's getting also better because now we know we're not alone. When I first came out, because of my first marriage, there was domestic violence. It was very hard, not only because I was already, a celebrity or whatever, but because there were not a lot of women who came out and say so we always think that we're alone. And now with the Me Too movement, with all these movements, we know we're not alone. And women should know that you are not alone. We are there for you. You're not the only one, unfortunately. And we need to speak out. This is the time to speak out. We cannot, I think the most dangerous thing right now is to be silent. I think if this is the moment to go out and say whatever we need, and it's the time to stop. And we're getting there. We're getting there. I mean, listen. There's also, hot. How do you call these hot lines where you call and you get help if you find yourself alone or something. But the thing is that you're never alone, because again, unfortunately, you're not the only one. And you know how we can help too, not only speaking out and giving our our help to any woman that needs it, or man by all means. We need to raise our kids in a beautiful home, in a beautiful, loving home. We need to, because we, as Mexicans, as Latinos, we have this machista culture, and it's in our veins. It really is not only you or me or your mom or my dad. We all have that. So we need to know, and we need to be alert. Like I do when I read parts, it's like, okay, don't sexualize her, don't this and don't that. And it's hard to get there. It's a fine line, but we need to start from home. Everything I learned, most of it was because of my parents, but they gave me the example. They don't only just told me what was right and what was wrong, but I watched them doing it. So if you as a father, as a parent, don't give this example of way of living, then who,
Thank you. Yeah, that's such a great point. We're going to go to Yuritsi for our next question.
Hi, good morning. I grew up in a Spanish-speaking household, and my mother has watched some of the shows you were in, and I wanted to ask her question. ¿Cuál fue tu motivación para cumplir tus sueños y metas?
Oh my God, I love your room, by the way. What was my motivation? Oh my God, so many there. Mi motivación fue el amor, the love that I have for my career, because as I said a little bit before, probably we were in the green room, my father is a huge actor in Mexico, so all I know is acting since I remember. So if my dad didn't have a movie, back then were movies, and well, we didn't eat. My mom would go and sell out those little Coca-Cola, Mexican Coca-Cola bottles, and she would literally sew our clothing. So it was hard. It was hard, and that motivated me because he never gave up. He never started selling, I don't know, quesadillas or whatever. He was so focused on his career, and because that was his passion. And he never quit on himself, and he never quit on acting. And listen, here I am, and he did great. And then she had a daughter who wanted to be an actress. And I remember my dad saying, no, I don't want you to be an actress. And I'm like, why? Because it's hard, because you have to be strong in your entire life. And because actors, we live out of rejection. And he didn't want me to go through that. And he was right. I mean, it's not been easy, but my motivation was the love and the passion that I have for my career.
Our next question comes from Zoshiket Sali.
Hi.
Hi, good morning. You have worked many different projects, including programs from Telemundo and Netflix. So my question for you is, what is the difference between working for Netflix and Telemundo?
Well, now because they give more money, we could do La Reina del Sur like this big. And before we didn't have that much money. So the first season was, production-wise, was a little bit, smaller. And this second one, because Netflix is they are co-producing with Telemundo, we could do a lot better. We could go to all these amazing countries like Russia, Romania, Italy, Spain, Colombia, United States, Mexico. So incluso Belize, we were in Belize. So the thing is that, for example, I did another show for Netflix that was exclusively for Netflix, an original Netflix called Ingobernable, ungovernable in English, and it was only for them. So it was, the difference was that it was we were waiting, and then once they release it, it's the whole package, the whole whatever 13 episodes or whatever it was, I don't remember. So that's kind of cool because you can binge watch. And with La Reina, the good thing about La Reina with Telemundo is that it goes out as if it was a telenovela. So it comes out from Monday to Friday. So yeah, you have to wait, but only one day, which is cool. But you don't have to wait a year for another season, you know? So it's kind of different now, the way we watch television because of Netflix. But it's cool, both of them. I love them.
I think we've all been doing a fair share of binge watching lately.
Yeah, right? I have nothing else to watch. I think I've watched everything. Exactly. There's always something good out there.
All right, we're gonna go to Tracy next.
Hi, good morning. So my family and I are big fans of you and your father's work, and you mentioned how he didn't want you to become an actor at first. So now that you are, what is some advice that he has given you that resonates with you, and why?
Wow, yeah. Well, first of all, he thought that I was just wanted to be famous, you know, and I love that he didn't push me to be an actress, and I did everything I did on my own. And but now I think we both give each other advice. My father has never tried to impose, and I will always be grateful with him for that, because he didn't impose, but everything that I know about acting and about being a professional and about ethics and everything is because of my dad, but because I saw him do it. I saw him, he was always on time. He always knew his lines, and same thing, I heard that, and he told me, listen, nobody cares about what happens in your real life. All that people care for is what happens in the cuadrito, you know, the little, well, he didn't do this, but he did it in this way, very small. It's a perfect square, which means the screen, right? So nobody cares if you broke up with your boyfriend, if you had a fight with your mom, nobody cares. So just listen to the director, because even if he's not talking to you, you will know exactly what he thinks, and it will make you better. So things like that.
Our next question comes from Troy.
Hi, Troy.
During this crazy pandemic, what have you been doing to keep yourself productive?
Oh my God, Troy. Well, first of all, I have to clean the whole house. So that's a pain, because it takes me forever. It takes me the whole day. I wish I would have listened to my mom back then in Mexico. Mijita, aprende a hacer todo. You know, because you will never know when you're gonna need it. And in Mexico, you know, we have services all the time. Here, it's only us. But oh my God, I have a beautiful cleaning lady that I love, but now she's not here, you know, because of the pandemic. So she's still being paid and everything, but I miss her so much. And then I have to work. I'm now amazing with Zoom. Well, that's what I think. At least I can get it done like right now. That's all I know how to do. But I move my lights. I'm doing my hair and makeup, which I never did before. And I'm starting to cook, not much, but a little bit. And then you know what, Troy? The day goes so fast for me, and then I'm exhausted of Zooming. Zooming is exhausting. God.
It is, but we're glad that you're with us today. Thank you.
Of course.
Our next question is from Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi, good morning. I know you moved from Mexico to America. So my question for you is, what was that transition like for you? What was the most difficult thing for you to learn?
Wow, well, the language I knew already, but it was hard for me to blend in and to start getting me auditions, to start learning another system. In Mexico, we didn't have back then managers or agents or anything like that. You will go out and seek your own job, or they will call you directly. So for me to starting to get to know how to get a job, because I needed a job, was really hard. And also because I found myself completely alone here. I didn't know anybody here. And I was always living with my parents and then with my husband. So it was a hard time for me to realize who I was and what I really liked and what kind of person I was. And loneliness in that way, or being alone, it's not loneliness. It's just, and I decided, and I live alone, and I'm very happy for my decision. But only with your solitude, you can understand who you really are and live the life you and only you want to live. Not the life your parents or the society or your boyfriend or your husband wants you to live, but only you. And that's all it matters, because it's only one life and it goes very fast.
Okay, our next question comes from Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, good morning. My name's Sophia, and I'm in the 8th grade, and my question for you is, I saw your interview about filming the TV show La Reina del Sur, and you talked about traveling to different places. So my question for you is, where has been your favorite place to film and why?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. Thanks to my career, I've gone to amazing places that probably I would have never gone if it was for me, if it wasn't for my job. I've been to Bolivia, for example. I spent there a long time. It was really challenging, to say a word. It was great being there. But with La Reina, and I've been to many countries, but with La Reina, I think Russia was spectacular. Russia is a place, and listen, because we are Latinos, or maybe because I'm Mexican, so it was like, okay, we cannot shoot on the Gremlin, look, like right there, we can't. But if we are tourists and there's a GoPro camera somewhere, then it's fine. So that's how we did it. There's some scenes that we were on the Gremlin, and I was like, okay, we cannot do that, because I was having problems in Mexico back then, and I couldn't go back to my country. So I was like, okay, guys, really, because I'm gonna get into jail in Russia, and I'm not gonna be able to come to Russia or Mexico. So what am I gonna do? We have to do these streets. So we do things like that, so we can see the Gremlin and this and that. So we did it as tourists, and everything was okay. But it was a spectacular place to shoot. Italy, of course, Romania was unbelievable as well. But Russia, all the people there, we thought they were going to be like very, like cold. And at the end, they were the most amazing people. And they come and hug us, and they were like, we want you to come back. They were very, very nice, actually. And yeah, you know what? I miss touching people. I think that's one of the worst things about the pandemic. Mexicans, Latinos, we are very touchy, and I miss that.
Geraldine has our next question.
Hey, buenos días. In many of your roles in telenovelas, your character deals with serious topics. So my question for you is, how do you find ways to walk away emotionally from your work?
Wow, thank you, Geraldine. Gracias. That's a great question. There's so many actors that they carry on with the characters they play, because you get so attached, and it's like when you just dive into this world that is not yours. But for me, my dad as well told me, it's like when they say corte, cut, it's over. And you go back to your normal life, and this and that. You cannot keep the character with you, because then it's gonna start. Actors, we are like schizophrenic. I remember a friend of mine who's a psychologist. He was like, I don't understand you actors. It's crazy. It's like every time it's like a loss. It's like one of your characters just died, and it's never gonna be played again. And there's a lot of losses in my life, you know, if you see it that way. But you cannot get too attached, because then it can really affect you. So all I do is finish my day on set, and that's it. Yes, I go back and I read my character and I study, but I try to know that that's a character that I'm playing, and if I can learn something from it, I will. And if not, because I've played like not only Narcos, as you know, with La Reina del Sur, but you know, human trafficking. I played a horrible woman in a movie called Trade with Kevin Kline. It's a very harsh movie, but it's really good. Watch it. And I remember I was trafficking little girls, and I was like, how can I do this kind of character? You know, and then I understood, because I studied a little bit of acting, well, and they told me you have to stop judging the characters. You have to understand why. Probably this woman, this lady, doesn't know anything else but that. Maybe she had no love. Maybe she was trafficked from the beginning, so that's all she knows, and she's made this tough, horrible, terrible woman. So if you live in their shoes, you understand them. But then I take off the shoes, and then I come back home to my little, you know, life.
Alan has our next question for you, Kate.
Hi, hello.
Hi, Alan.
You are an accomplished actor and have worked with so many people. So my question for you is, who do you like working the most with, and why?
Hi, Alan. That's a very tough question. Who have I? Well, let's talk about Mexicans versus Latinos versus Americans. I love Americans, and listen, I will always be thankful for all the opportunities that I've had ever since I came to the United States. But they are very organized, too much in my point of view. So, for example, if hair comes and just tells me, oh, there's something there staying that you have, she cannot do that, okay? Or if you see a cable that is, and I want to take it up there and just like drag the cable, they said, no, you can't do that. In Mexico, everybody does everything, and it still works. So I like very much working with Mexicans, because I relate a little bit more with them, and the chaos brings a little bit of charm and a little bit of, I don't know, excitement. And between actors, I love working with amazing, huge, well-known actors, because instead of feeling like I am not that good or that I am less than them, on the other hand, I just like level up and level up and level up, and I learn a lot.
All right, we're going to go to Zaida for our next question. And Kate, before I go to Zaida, I want to be mindful of your time too. Do you have time for maybe 2 or 3 more questions?
Sure.
Okay, great. All right, we'll go to Zaida first.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Zaida. I'm in the 8th grade, and my question for you is, what was your favorite thing about growing up in Mexico?
My best thing about growing up in Mexico, my friends, the food for sure, the food, and you know what thing that I miss a lot, that I loved in Mexico, was that it's like, hey, do you want to have a coffee right now or next week? Here in America, it's like that, and I'm like, right now. I don't know if next week I'm gonna be alive, so yeah, right now. And here is everything like you have to be on their schedule. And in Mexico, people just show up in your house, and that I love. I think that's really cool, and that's the way it should be, in my point of view. So I miss that a lot. On the other hand, part of what I like about living here is that I can drive my own car. In Mexico, I have to have people, surrounding me and someone to drive me, and that's not fun. That's not a life. For me, it's different. But yeah, I think the food and my friends.
Okay, we're gonna go to Sori for our next question.
Hi, Sori.
Hi, my name is Sori. I'm in the 8th grade, and my question for you is, how do you stay in character while filming?
How do I stay in character? What? Sorry?
How do you stay in character while filming?
I try to be focused. I don't have my cell phone on me at all. I literally turn it off and I leave it in my trailer. I hate that. I have to be focused because I can be distracted very easily. So I keep focused. I keep learning about it. I keep researching. I do the research all through the end of the shooting, not only before when I'm doing a pre-production or getting ready for it. So throughout the whole shoot, I Google, I research whatever the theme is about or whoever this character is. I eat well. I work out because working out for me, because I do not meditate, I do not do yoga, I don't have a therapist. So all of that for me, through working out, I can get that focus and my state of mind, because most of the time I work so much from Monday to Saturday, 15, 16 hours a day. So for me, it's exhausting, and I need to have my brain, my heart, my body just right there, so I can learn my lines, so I can run, so I can kill people on high heels running, which is the worst part of it. But so I have to be really there, and for me, it's also the brain.
I want to cut the line for a moment and ask you, you do a lot of your stunts. What has been your most challenging stunt, and what has been the one that was the most fun for you?
Well, now in La Reina del Sur, I love it that they got me to ride motorcycles. I rode the boats. I literally hang off a real helicopter, which was really, really crazy of me. But I didn't hear cut. So I'm like a caballo de carreras, you know? So if I hear action, I don't stop until I hear cut. So I didn't hear cut, and we already have done these scenes many times, but with a green screen and everything very safe. But because I had already in my body the know-how and this and that, but back then I was grabbed here, so I didn't fall. But this time they didn't, because I wasn't supposed to go all the way there. And yeah, it was really bad. I started crying later when I was home. Don't tell anybody, because I don't know why I do those things, but it's not that I just didn't listen, caught, and that was it. And then when I realized, because the stunt was grabbed from la pata from the helicopter, and he was grabbing that, and he was like, get in, and that's the only way I realized. And then I was crying because I put myself in so much danger, and not only myself, but the entire production. But I try to do my stunts because I love the feeling, but now I also realize that I cannot put in jeopardy so many people that's working, and I'm the leading lady when I do La Reina, so if something happens to me, no bueno.
But you still ride your motorcycle?
Yes. I have a motorcycle here. I have a Monster. I love it.
Very cool. All right, we're going to go to Allison, who has, I think, probably our last question of the morning.
Hi, Allison.
Hi. My name is Allison. I'm the 8th grade. And I would like to thank you for being a whole school time speaker.
Oh, thank you.
What is your favorite show that you have been a part of?
That I've been a part of? I think one of the ones that I love, it was Weeds. I don't know if you are familiar with Weeds. I had a great time there. Weeds, I did something for Jay Lambert. I love comedy. I'm actually going to be shooting something for Peacock, the new platform for NBC, and it's going to be a dark comedy. And it's going to be in Spanish, which is the first one they're going to have in Spanish. So I'm very proud of it. But hopefully this stupid virus goes away soon so I can go and shoot. But I think Weeds was a good one. And of course, La Reina del Sur is like my baby. It's like the most challenging in so many ways. And I love how to see Teresa Mendoza, the way she is being mature in so many ways after having her kid and then losing her. And now we're gonna see what's gonna happen on the third season. But I love the way she's been changing and how she's a resilient lady, and she comes back always with so much strength, but also she's not only tough and just like that. She knows how to love, and she loves in a huge way, and she's protective of her friends and of her loved ones. So I like this character very much. Also, is the anti-heroine, you know, she's a drunk, she sleeps with men all the time, you know, she's like the anti-hero. And I think that's how, or that's why a lot of people relates to her, because she's flawed, and we all are. And you know, but she still is a victim of a circumstance, but she made out the best out, she made the best out of it. So there you go. I love Teresa.
Thank you so much, Kate. We're going to take just one moment for a brief meditation again, just to take in all that you shared with us. And then Ivan will share some remarks to end our morning together.
Thank you.
Go back to Valerie.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. One, two, three.
Well, what a spectacular day, and what a gift you are to the big screen, the small screen, and for all of us here in Spanish Harlem. We could have listened to you for hours. You're a wonderful artist and also a wonderful humanitarian. We didn't get to really touch so much on your advocacy for animal rights and human trafficking. What a wonderful, wonderful example of a life that all of us should follow. You've developed a craft to the highest level. You've done it in 2 languages, and you're also engaged in the life of the larger world, and you don't shy away from struggle and suffering, and in the process, you've sharpened yourself into being this wonderful, wonderful spirit and a light to our school this morning and for many, many days to come. I hope you understand that you are a part of our school forever. I hope when the pandemic ends that you'll come and visit us and we'll give you a tour. But what a wonderful gift you've been to us this morning and to the entire world with your work and with your advocacy for a more compassionate world. I'm so grateful again for Devin for magically bringing you here, Kate del Castillo, Negrete Trillo. Do you have any final words for us?
Oh my God,
you're
Ivan,
phenomenal.
thank you so much. I was wishing you would invite me when the pandemic is over, because I really would love to be there and be able to hug all these beautiful people and hug you personally, and especially because you've done so amazing. And then sometimes you see your own self and you see, oh my God, I wish I've done so much as you have done. But we all do our thing wherever we can and in our own little way. And I think that's enough. And the final words for me is the best advice that I've received is like, we are enough. I am enough. And as long as you give your 100%, you will get there. And if your 100% is not good enough for somebody else, well, you know what? Whatever it is, your 100%, and it's all you have, and just give it and work hard for that, and never give up. You guys are so young, and you have a beautiful, beautiful life in front of you. So take advantage of that and have fun. Have fun. That's all I can say. And love each other. Take care of each other. Take care of the oldest. People surrounding you, and just give love. We are here to make love, not war. So let's keep it that way.
Thank you so much. We'll remember what you said, and we'll remember how you said it, and most important, will remember how you made us feel. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kate del Castillo. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much. You made my day. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right. Nice job.
What did you think, Jocelyn?
I thought she was really funny, and I thought that she spoke beautifully, and my mom came around just to see her. So I thought it was cool.
And what did your mom think?
She was very impressed.
Yeah, me too. I'm always impressed with you, Jocelyn. Yeah, no, she's really, she doesn't put on any airs. She speaks so cleanly and beautifully, and the alumni who were with me in the green room immediately, and Devin was there too. I mean, she just put us all at ease, and Ms. Duncan got it. And then you got her energy. I mean, she's just tough, and she's smart, and she's skilled in her craft, but she also doesn't just bury herself in, which I would understand, but she reaches out to the whole world. And if you go, now I'm starting to look at Instagram. I never had an Instagram really that I paid attention to until the pandemic. But she's talking about freeing this killer whale that's been stuck in captivity. But she talks about animal rights and Black lives and immigrant rights and reuniting families. She is just a really powerful and important person. And the world is really magical, as I said before, and she talked about a little.